Well, hello everyone, welcome back to the shop. Today's part 7. So I've got my Lighthouse, the light. To be honest, I can't believe I spent $100 for this. All it is a electrical box with a plate on it and a cheesy little motor in there. There's an on-off switch. This is supposed to be the deluxe model. I hope it lives up to its reputation. It's supposed to be 110 volt. There's the wires there. We're going to relocate those so we'll knock out one of the knockouts here, and the wires will come out through the bottom there. If that switch is just to turn the whole thing off and on, or is it just to turn the rotation on and off? I don't know. We're going to have to relocate that. We'll relocate it onto the outside of the column somewhere with a waterproof switch so it can be used in all weather. But what we have to do is, just a sec, before we get into that, here's the stairs from last week. They came out decently. I think everything's fairly straight and nice and light. The glue they're only held together with glue, a little bit of wood glue. They're a little rough. They'll have to be cleaned up a little bit and evened out, but beyond that, they'll be really nice. They're a little the treads themselves are a little uneven. We'll just put those on the belt center and take them down all so they're nice and neat. And then we'll fill in all the gaps and we'll be ready to mount them onto the shack. So today's project is the light. We're going to get it mounted, build the mount in the bottom of the case for it. I built these little spacers here. They're 1 inch. They'll slide and glue into the inside. And I made 2 little spacers, 2.5 inch long spacers to go in. Let's see if I can show you this. They'll be like that, and then there's a plate that'll go on top of that, and that's what this will be affixed to. And then on top of that, there'll be another plate, another piece of 1/4 inch plywood, which will go across. It'll hide all this, so all you'll really see is the actual light turning around over top of the plywood. I've got the plywood here, so that's what we're going to do today. I've got the top out here because I'm not terribly happy with it. I don't know if you can see that, but the vent is it's perpendicular. It's just not straight. I might break that off and start again. We'll see if I can sand it so it's to a point where I'm happy with it. We'll leave it. If not, it's coming off. It's only glued on. I'll be able to cut that off and no problem at all. So let me get the saw set up. We'll get these glued in. We'll get the new plate on, and then we'll go from there. So welcome back to the shop. Always remember to hit the subscribe button, hit the like, thumbs up please, and always turn on the little bell, ring-a-ding-ding, and you'll get notifications every time I upload a video. And hopefully we're trying to do that once a week. Last week's video is taking me a while. I normally record these things at 1080p. Number 6 was recorded on 2.7K. It's huge. My computer's got a 1 terabyte hard drive, and I had to buy an external hard drive, a 2 terabyte hard drive, and move everything onto the 2 terabyte hard drive, so I actually had room for it. So, note to self, either get a bit bigger computer or continue to record at the lower resolution, which I'm going to do. Anyway, we'll set it up, and we'll see you in a bit. 7-2. Okay, what I've done is I've gone ahead and I've drawn it out on here, but what I want this piece to do is to sit inside this one. So what we're going to do here is just with a same size, we just line her up and we draw lines from the inside, the proper thickness. We cut to the inside and it should slide right in. So that's what we'll do. Done up, I'll reset the camera over to the saw, we'll cut this down and we'll see if she fits. Alright, here we go. Hearing protection on. So there we go. There's my line. Right there. So there's some fine sanding to do because I did stay proud of the line. That's all right. And then once it's in there, and on top of inch thick pieces, it'll stand just about the right level. I'll drill a hole in the middle right now. All right, got the base here. There's the top with the lines. We'll just take them down to the line. Sorry, I can't show you unless I spin everything around. I really don't want to show you what's over there. It's really, really ugly. So hearing protection on. It fits nicely. Now what I'll do is I'll put the braces in to hold it up. Let's get rid of that ugly thing. Leave this up because I'm going to do the stairs before. So what I'll do, 2 seconds, let me grab my glue. Stairs. So we're just going to sand the stairs back. They're a little uneven. We're just going to even them all up quickly and go on. So hearing protection up. And of course the heater's just coming on. So there we go, there are the stairs. The rungs are not too bad actually. I'll have to get in there because with the hot glue, I'll have to do a little bit of cleaning up, but that's okay. Okay, what I've decided to do is carry on with the lid. Can you see that? The top isn't level. I don't like it. I don't even like the bottom of it. We'll see. If I can't fix that up, it's coming off and we'll just build another one. Here we go. Your hearing protection. So the coning came out not too bad, but on this thing it's too coarse. I'll get out a sanding block and I'll just go crazy on that with a sanding block. Beyond that looks like crap, and I don't like it. I wonder how hard that is to get off. Well, let's play with it first with a sanding stick, and we'll see where we go from there. Here, there's my sanding sticks. Another thing I decided to do, I was going to put this plate right on top like that. I'm not. I'll cut it down so it sits, and I'll get rid of all these little tacks. I'll bend them over or something. And this piece will sit inside there. I still have to make the uprights, which I might just do today if I can get on there. If I can get that the top built and the light fixed to there, and then of course we gotta gut this, and I'll show you that. luckily enough, my son just happens to be an electrician, and he's coming over tonight. So we'll take a look at this later on and see what sort of thing we can make out of that to make sure that works okay. All right. Anyway, back onto this. All right, with all the noise in the background, I'll speak up. So what I decided to do is, let's see how we're gonna fix this, because this is gonna go on there. I might have made that just a touch high, but that's okay. And then another piece will go in like that, so it'll hide it all. I don't know if you can see if I can get that straight there. Yeah, just about there. There's a big gear and a little gear in there. And of course, the little gear runs the big gear. It looks like I can move that up a bit. That'll be all right. I don't know if I can or not. But anyway, I have to build a slot large enough so it slides in over top and so it doesn't encumber those two things. But tell you what, let's take this off and see what the guts are like inside. That's just a couple little wires and an electric motor. Yep, that's all it is. Trying to think if I even need this electrical box here. I bet you I don't. I cannot believe I spent $100 for this. I could make I could make that. Oh man. Oh well. 120 volt, right on. Okay. I got my ground power. Wait for the sun to come over. Yeah, this cheesy little switch here, we'll figure out what that does, and then of course it's obviously not waterproof, and we need this waterproof. So I'll go pick up a waterproof switch, and we'll tie that in. Yeah, I don't even think I need that. I think I can build some wood with that. Build this, attach this out of wood, so it sits in there like that. I don't even need that thing. And once again, I'm still not 100% sure. What I think it is, by the look of the way this is wired together, is everything's just wired together. A mess here. I'm mad at myself now. I could have done this. Anyway, note to self: always try to do it yourself before you buy somewhere else. The head would have been difficult to get, so going through the person I got this through probably wasn't a bad idea actually. Just for the head, but the gears, the motor, the plate, the wiring, I need everything here. I'd like to know where we've got that. The thing about these things, it's got a nice lens here. If wanted in the future, these knockouts here, well, they're not knockouts, it's just glass. It's just mirrors in there that can be popped out and more lenses put in. So if you wanted a lighthouse that had a white light, a yellow light, a green light, or a blue light or something in there, you can easily switch those out. So as it rotates, it'll flash different colors to you at a proper sequence. But yeah, that's what I'm going to do. We're gonna discard the plate for sure, and we'll build a box out of wood at the perfect height, because I did make it a little too tall, and it did come with 2 extra bulbs, which at least that's nice. I still have to make a way to get in. One of these panels of glass will be on hinges, so it'll open so you can get your hand in there and change out the bulb if necessary. So yeah. So let me take the switch off. We don't need that switch on there anymore. And we'll discard this box, and then we'll come up, that's what we'll do now. We'll build another box for this at the correct height, so it all looks really, really nice. Okay, get back to you in just a little bit. All right, let's see if I can get everything centered here for you. So what I've done, we've taken that cheesy case off there. So this, of course, we'll all go through there. I'll take that switch off. I don't even know if that'll fit in there. Down, boy. Like that. The motor will sit over on that side there. And that's how it should be. It's a little lower than it has to be right now. This piece here will go on top, and I have to just, because this has to go in like that. So there's a little bit of finagling to do, so I'm going to cut that out right now. So while I wait this, make sure, oh shoot, I'm moving stuff. And this will make this super duper strong. So just put that aside for now, let that dry up. I don't know how that's all held in there. I bet it's just glued on. I don't want to really start taking stuff apart yet. I don't have to. You know what? I'm going to search out. I might have another plate like that here somewhere. I bet you I do. Let me go look it out. Look it up. We'll cut a hole in the middle there and we'll get back at it. So what I did here, I quickly drew out a quick little, slightly less than square hole, but it doesn't have to be. You just have to be able to take a couple screws to screw this down. So I'm just going to quickly jig this out. There we go. Cool beans, just like that. There's a couple little finaglies I gotta do. Might have to make another one of those. I'm not terribly happy. I could rotate it a bit, I guess, and fill that in. Let me just see here. See, what's happening is I didn't take into account the grooves. So I might have to make another one. No big deal. Make it slightly smaller. I could go like that and fill the other part in. But then the light's not centered, and the light has to be centered. Like that. Well, this is a good prototype. So let's make some lines. So it's got to be, oh, I see, okay. So here, what we need is no more than that, no more than that, no more than that, rotate. But on the bottom here, we do need this shaved out, like about that. All right. Okay, I'll quickly burn up another one of them. Won't take too long at all, and I'll get right back to you. So I burnt up that other one there. I made the hole a little bigger so the motor can fit in there. So there we go. That's how it'll fit in. Why does it say high up there? Oh, I see why. There we go. It's going to be a bit of a pain getting the wires all sorted, but that's all right. So what I have to do, where are we here? Is drill holes in all these corners right here. I think I don't know if I'll do that one yet there, but there's not a lot of material there. Drill some holes, and then once they're in there, that'll get bolted down there. Then once that's permanently affixed there, I can go ahead and fill it in really nicely. I wanted that to sit down just a little bit. I don't know if you can see that. It sits down there a little bit. There's a couple of gaps, but that's all right. We can fill that in, make it look pretty, make it look so. And as luck would have it, battery died. So I got it plugged in now, so I've got a slightly different view. So what I was saying, we're gonna drill those holes in there. I've got little tiny nuts and bolts that will fix this nicely. And then we'll go ahead and fill all this in so it's so it blends all in, so it looks really, really nice. And then the top goes on like that. So I thought it would be a little higher, but that'll look goofy. So we'll put it about there, I'm thinking. Put this back together here. Quickly. Here. Yeah, that switch, it'd be much better once I get rid of the switch. Go and find something. There we are. Perfect. So, what I want is about that, right? What's 7 inches? That'll go down about an inch. Let's pop that out. That would go all the way to the bottom. So that's almost just an inch and 3/4, 7, 8 3/4. So about 8. No, let's go 9 inches. I think 9 inches is a good place to start. So what I got to do, I'm gonna have to cut up some wood, and then cut it back a little bit. Then cut it everything at 22-degree angle. I might have to get my little multi-tool and just snip out the ends here so I can get them right down. Because what you really want to do is you want to have the pieces way down inside here, so it gets lots and lots of a glue surface. And on the top here, I don't have that much space, but that's okay. It's just the top. It'll sit there quite nicely. And then, like I said, I'm going to make another piece for here. We're going to get rid of all these brads. Probably just bend them over. Then I'll have another piece that sits in there, and it'll lock all the uprights in place. So we're going to go ahead and figure out the uprights now, and then come back. And that's going to look nice, I think. I might make cookie jars. I just might make cookie jars. That looks like a cookie jar. It goes a little short, but that looks like a cookie jar. Okay, what I did, I ran some pieces through. If I can find my tape measure. Here we go. Should have made these a little proud. These are quite a bit longer than they need to be. These are about 12 1/4 inches. But they're cut at 22 degrees. And can you see that? Let me see that. There we go. They fit in there quite nice. Now the only issue is, if you can see how wide they are, that means that they're only going to let through that much light. So what I'm going to do is I'll be cutting them down a fair amount. Then we've got to make a recess in it for the Lexan to slide in. So I'm going to fiddle with that a little bit. This is just a prototype. These are the pieces here I've got all cut up. So I'm just going to mess with this a little bit. I'll probably cut this one in half and mess with it a little bit until I can figure out exactly how much I want to cut off, so I'm not restricting the light too much at all. I might probably be ending up cutting off a fair amount. Once I get that figured out, I'll get back to you. All right, after a lot of playing around, I got them down. They are 1/2 inch wide by 1/4 inch deep. The angles are 22 degrees. They're a bit of a pain to get in there, but they do fit in, and that's going to give us lots and lots of good visibility. What I have to do, see, this one's not completely straight. I don't like that. I don't even know if I have the right one there. Anyway, that's about the right distance there. Got all of these to make lots and lots of mistakes to get it all right. All right, I've got 8 all cut up. Nice and small. They're thick enough that when it comes time to sort out how I'm putting in the glass, it'll work. Well, let's try something here. I have to clean those up a little bit. Got to clean them up. I do have to cut that off. So let's make some lines. Make some lines. I'll get my multi-tool out and we'll just slice those down. There. There. Because we want the full depth, so the glue has lots of purchase. Now, okay, that's put aside. Now, let's not put that aside right now. Right yet. That goes like that. You see, they got to be parallel, so we'll make sure of that. So how are we going to recess the glass in there? I don't know. I think the best thing to do is get skinny glass, skinny as we can get it, and notch it all the way down. So that will be a royal pain, because the saw's only got to be so so deep, so it's going to be a lot of trial and error with that. What I'm going to do is I'll wait until I have the Lexan bought, and then what I'll do is then we'll see about the notching, and I'll make a bunch more test pieces so I can go ahead and make them make sure it's all correct. I think what I'll do, I'll cut all these to length so they're all perfect, exactly how I want them. I think I said I wanted them right from the get-go. I wanted them 9. I got that backwards. I'll probably do the math, but who really wants it? Because right now they're 12 1/4 and I only want them 9. There we go. 9 inches right there. Well, that'll be fine. 9 inches it is. Okay, I'm going to zip these into the chop saw to set up a quick little jig, so I cut them all exactly 9, and then I'll show you that. So there we are, we're all set up. I just set up a quick little stop block right there, and then we run them through one at a time, going nice and careful to make sure we don't split them. There we are. There we go, 8, all exactly the same length. We'll have to clean them up a little bit, and it'll look great. Okay, on to the next thing. So until I get the multi-tool out and I get the I get those pieces cut out of there, we'll just put 4 in. Let's have a quick little look. Now there's a good indication of sort of the height of it. I'm gonna get my multi-tool out now. We'll take those pieces down, and then we'll put all of them in, and then we'll see what it looks like. Because right now, it's not looking too bad. Okay, I'll be right back with the multi-tool. All right, got my multi-tool. Let's see how much of a mess I can make out of this. All right, this time I will wear my ear protection. All right, there we go. Now, because of the clamps aren't holding everything perfectly straight, it's going to be a bit of a pain. Not a pain, it's just going to line everything up so it fits in there like it should. Come on. Nada! That's what she looks like. Huh. Not too bad, not too bad. Now, when the glass goes in here, there's right in the halfway point, there's little pieces that come across. And what we're gonna do there is after we get the Lexan in, we'll just probably hot glue them in, just right onto the glass itself. So they just sit there and it actually looks like it's doing anything. You know what, I really like that. Shoot. I like it. That looks all right. Tell you what we're gonna do. Let's pull the tower down. Not the tower. Pull the column down. Well, let's see what this looks like. Oh my crap. Well, it looks okay. That's a. You know what? I think I can. I wonder if I can. Will they fall apart? I wonder. Sorry about my back. Just take a couple of these planks off so we get a better view without clamps in that way. What do you think? You think it'll stand up by itself? It's absolutely amazing once the glue gets in there and how strong this really is. Oh no, that's that one. Must be sitting on glue or something. So I'll tell you what, we'll leave it like that. And that's what she looks like. It might be hard to see, but here. There, how's that? Let me take a look on my camera. There we go. That shows a little bit of contrast anyway. So yeah, you know what? That's pretty much the right. It's pretty good. I'm gonna move it. It's gonna fall apart. That's what the right orientation and the right height of the actual tower, of the light structure in when it comes to the column. So that worked out well. Sometimes you got to be. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, and I'm lucky. So there we go. I'm not sure what else I'm going to do here today. Gotta wait for my son to come over and we'll talk about the wiring of the light and what has to be done. The switch is definitely going to be changed out. This is very, very simple stuff. I'm pretty sure as soon as you plug it in, the light comes on. We might just test that, and then the switch is on and off for the motor for it to rotate. So if that's the case, I'll have two switches on the outside somewhere, maybe down by the little shack, and you can just flick them on. If you just want the light to come on, that's fine. If you want both to come on, you can have the light come on and rotate. Now, there's the stairs. Oh, tell you what we'll do. I'll switch views. We're going to bring the column up. I forgot, I got to sand off the edge of the small shack, and then we'll figure out the door. It's I got a couple hours left here before I've got to start putting stuff away. So maybe we might make the base for it, and we might put the door on and attach the stairs. All right, there's the column. I'm glad this is just about done. If you remember, last weekend I filled all this in. We made the stairs. There's the stairs. They go on like that. We still got to make the base for it. I got that over there. We will do that today. I'll put this up. We'll trace it all out, and we'll have it. It'll come out. It'll square this off, so the stairs have a little bit of support there. So there we go. There. Got a little cleaning up. I don't know if you can you see that? A little cleaning up to do in there. Nothing big. Anyway. It's an old lighthouse. It's one of the oldest in Canada, if not the oldest. And so she's got to look a little rustic. But we're going to sand this down now. Then I'm going to measure it up. We're going to build the door. That took a long time, hey? So I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to turn this around like this so I can see it as well. I might orientate you over here a little bit, and we'll build a door. All right, for this one, a lot of times I cut things out, but for this one I'm going to show you absolutely everything. So the stairs are there. The door is, we're going to go 2 inches by, I think, what did I say before? 2 by 4? 2 by 3 and 3/4. How about that? All right. So over to the saw here. What I'm gonna do, I'll orientate the door with a level to make sure that it looks proper, because this is on an angle, the column tapers. Oh, another thing is, on one picture I saw, on this side of the shack here, there was I think I saw a window. I'm not sure. If anybody knows of the Sambro Lighthouse, has a window on the end of the little house, or the shack, the entrance shack, let me know. So, here we go. So the door is gonna go there. So now we're gonna make a door frame so it looks proper. I'm not, like I said, I'm not gonna cut into the lighthouse for the door. There we go. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make out of probably, we'll probably go 1/4 inch. Just a second, let me grab my right angle. Adjust my right angle here. Let me see what I'm doing here. I think a 1/4, no, that's too big. 1/4 inch, I think 1/4 inch will look good. Yeah, 1/4 inch is fine. All right, so I found a little larger piece. We'll run that through and hopefully it doesn't suck it down in there. If it does, I gotta turn the saw off. We gotta fish it out. There we go. So we've got 4 pieces, and that's going to be the door frame. So it'll sit something like that. As long as we got a little bit of relief, it'll look great. Of course, like that. Oops, shoot like that. And of course, one across the bottom. Just a little bit. That'll look like a nice little door frame. We'll make a door handle for it. I don't know if there's a window. We might put a window in anyway, just to get a little bit, because unless I actually go out and buy a door from a hobby shop, I can't do the relief, like, you know, the 4 panels or 2 panels or what have you. I haven't got the technology for that yet. So tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna reorientate and we're gonna go over to the chop saw and we'll see what else we can make a mess of. Over to the chop saw. So these are the uprights, the ones going beside the door. So you're going to make sure they're flush there. So, okay, just hair more of this that away. I think by using this darker piece here, it'll contrast a little better, because this, you know, is the same as that, that. It's a little hard to see. So the frames would go there. And we'll just put a little dab will do you glue. Get them square. It's a pain in the butt because as soon as you let them go. So that's it, something like what it's supposed to be there. Because as you can tell, I got it too narrow at my end and not quite enough at yours. Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch the video again to see if there's a window in that door. And then we'll put that on there. We'll taper down the edges so it looks a little more natural. There, so I think I'm going to leave the door alone for now until I do a little bit more research to see if there's a window in it. I don't know, I can't remember. I don't know if there is or not. But what we'll do in the meantime, I'll get the big sheet of 1/4 inch out. We'll set it underneath the lighthouse and we'll trace it out and we'll cut that and we'll get that put on. Well, we won't get it put on because I've still got to cut a hole in the base of this for the so I can get in and run the lines through, because like a silly person that I am, I completely sealed it. So that's what we'll do next. Not bad. Yeah, like I said, when I put the door on, don't go by those lines. Those lines aren't plumb. Hopefully those darker lines show out. That's plumb. So when we put the door on, we'll make sure it's like that. Because like I said, this angles in a little bit, this angles in a little bit. It'll look off because of that. I'm really amazed how dark these the lines look on the video than in real life. Okay, so I'm going to set the saw up, and I'll show you me cutting all this out. So there it is in all its glory. Looks a little weird, but that's all right, because it's missing all these two angles. But yeah, that's it. That's all she sits. That's the shack, and of course the stairs go down to there. I think what we'll do now, we might turn it upside down, or at least turn it on its side, and I'll use a paint can, and we'll draw a circle in the middle, and we'll cut that out with the jigsaw, so we can gain access to the inside. So that's next. Okay, so we got our flipped up on our end. There's glue on there. So we've got a rusty old paint can. What is this? Oh, waterproofing. So we want that pretty much in the middle. I might have to make it bigger. You know what? I gotta get a saw in there. Not a saw, but I've got to get a drill in there. All right, we'll start with that. And we'll go from there. Let's get a drill. So hopefully you can see this well. We're just going to go around in a circle. Oh shoot, the light's all messed up. Just a sec. There we are. There we go. There we go. Okay, we'll have to sand that down, make that look pretty. And then... and that goes on there like that at the end. Of course, this is the bottom. It stands, can you see that? It stands proud, so that's nice. This one we can tack on, so that'll be nice. You see that? Yeah, yeah. And then the stairs go there. I'm going to round this off too. Right on. Okay, I'll figure something else out to do here, and then we'll do it. No, I'm thinking I put that half inch hole up there. It's not going to be big enough. Need a big one, because on the back side here is where that hatch, that opening hatch, is going to go, and you're going to have to be able to easily shove in electrical cord, because it'll all get coiled up in here, and it can't interfere with the wires going to the light, which go through here. So I'll have to come up with some way of an extension so I can get my hole saw in there, because right now it's not deep enough. So there's my hole saw. Still got a piece of wood in it, I gotta pull that out. But I don't think, no. Even though I put that right on the edge, I really shouldn't do. Well, maybe, but what I have to do is, if you remember, the column and the base are built out of 5/8 thick plywood. So it's not, because we need it for the structure. So I'm not 100% sure. Tell you what, I'm going to put you on pause for just a second. I'm going to get rid of that piece of wood. We're going to give it a shot and see what happens. Well, it might go through. I don't know. We'll see. That's maybe. Wow. All right. Yeah, maybe. Okay, let's give it a shot. Can you see? That's the original hole I made. It wasn't too bad, I guess, for the center of the hole. Oh, that's better. Oh, it came up right beside you. If you remember when I built this, we put in some supports in there. It came up right beside the supports. I mean, right beside them. Cool beans. All right, back one. Let's clean this up. So there we go. We got this hole in. We got the one up there into the shack done. What am I feeling there? Oh yeah. Oh no. I forgot. We put a support that goes horizontally across there. Mrs. Jones, you can have a boy. That might have to come out. All right. So when we there's going to be probably a 3.5, 4-inch hole here for the flapping hatch where the cord will go out. We might have to make this a bit bigger. I don't know how the heck we're going to do that though. And that center support, which is, well, maybe that juts out there, here. We might still have to, we'll see. I'm going to pick that up tomorrow at lunchtime from work. There's an RV place just down the road. I'll go pick that up. All right, out of the stairs, we'll get all the glue out of there, some sand implements, and of course, right on cue, the heater kicks in. So, let's get this stuff going here. Parchment paper. Glue does not stick to parchment paper, which is great. So I can play with this a little bit. I'm gonna go get the glue. Oh, I'm gonna go get the glue in a second here before I want as much of this compound off as possible, because once it sets up, it is like concrete. So on here, handily, it comes with 90-degree angles. So you can line everything up to that, which is really nice if the sizes are just right. So I'm gonna line her up there. Like this, like this. Let's get rid of the door. So we have that's nice. So there we've got 2 1/4. And there we've got, oh, just a minute. Stand by our beds. 2 and 3. Yeah. In the lighthouse that's out back, what I did was I should, no, I'm not going to touch it. So there we go. That's the door frame. Yeah, that'll do. First I made 2 doors. There. So that's going to be it for today. I think that's enough. We got the light assembly itself pretty much roughed out. We took apart the light. So tomorrow what I've got to do is I've got to source out 2 waterproof switches. Home Depot, you can get them. The Port Alconi Lighthouse you could turn that off and on as you need it. You didn't have to unplug it. The switches are there, so we'll source that. We got to go to the RV place and get the hatch cover. So, like I thought, I had a lot of time left on my SD card. I didn't. Halfway through that sentence, it died. So, we had a good day today. We got the Lighthouse, the structure built. So that's great. We got the base built. We got the stairs all filled in. We got the upper house structure done. It's all sitting there ready to go. I've got the light, what I wanted to do with that. So anyway, back to that. Thanks for watching. This is now on my iPhone 10. Thanks for watching. Remember to ring the little bell and you'll be notified every single time I post a video. Hit the like and remember to subscribe, please. So until next week, we'll see you. Take care and have a great week.